My ex and I met in college, where we were deeply in love for all 4 years. We got married after graduation in 2010. But in 2013, I found out she had been having an affair with a co-worker for over a year. It devastated me. She said they were soulmates and didn't intend to hurt anyone, but it crushed me. We divorced 3 months later. I went through the worst time of my life, mourning for over a year. Eventually, I heard they got married. One day, I decided I was tired of being sad, so I let go of her in my heart, moved on, and threw myself into work. As a programmer, I accepted a pre-sales consultant role at a major software company. That job changed everything. I traveled the world, visited every continent, and life became an adventure. I didn't date seriously again, or remarry, but I was open to casual dating and met amazing women from different parts of the globe. After my experience with marriage, I decided it wasn't for me, though I was happy, sometimes lonely during holidays, but content overall. I eventually settled into a new role in a major city, closer to home. One Saturday morning, I was having breakfast at a diner, browsing Facebook and Reddit, when I heard someone say my name. I looked up, expecting a work friend, but to my surprise, it was my ex-wife. I was floored. Here I was, over 2,000 miles from our old hometown, not having seen her in 6 years, and she was standing in front of me. All I could say was, "Hi." She looked great, and she told me I looked amazing too. She asked if I was busy and said she wanted to talk if I had time. We ended up talking for over 2 hours and continued our conversation with a walk in a nearby park. We caught up on mutual acquaintances, and I shared stories from my travels. But we avoided talking about the obvious, our past. Eventually, she asked if I had gotten remarried. I said no, once was enough. She seemed sad by that. After a pause, she apologized for what she did to me, saying I didn't deserve it, and that it had haunted her ever since. I told her she fell in love with someone else and I couldn't stop that. I asked if she was happy. She laughed awkwardly and told me they fought constantly, and her husband ended up cheating on her, leaving her 2 years into their marriage. I said I was sorry, knowing how much that pain could hurt. She admitted that when her heart broke, all she could think about was how she had done the same thing to me, and it tortured her. She explained how she had fallen into a year of self-destructive behavior, but therapy had helped her figure things out and hold herself accountable. She moved to the city to be close to her aunt, and after her second divorce before 30, she wanted to make significant changes in her life. It was clear she had matured. Before parting, we exchanged contact info and agreed to meet again. We've since met for coffee and talked more. She clearly wants more from me, hints aren't subtle, and I can feel the chemistry we once had. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want something more too. But I'm held back by fear of getting hurt again. If she had been just a casual girlfriend, I would have moved on, but she wasn't. She was my wife and the love of my life. I used to dream of her coming back into my life, and now that it's happening, I'm scared. I'm not sure if I can give her my heart again. We've both grown a lot, but the past still lingers. If she wasn't who she is, I might already be falling for her again. Now I'm stuck. Do I give love another chance with her, or do I leave the past where it belongs? Out of all the people I could have run into here, it had to be her. I'm happily married now. I've been with my wife for 8 years, married for 6. When we got together, I was upfront about having been engaged before. Of course, she had questions, and I started by saying, "Never date a stripper." I learned the hard way. It might seem glamorous, but you can't change them. I met my ex in a strip club. She was beautiful, blonde, and athletic. I was young, naive, and full of hormones. What followed was the worst 6 months of my life. I was paying for everything, and despite being a stripper, she wasn't making much money. She had a shopping addiction, among other things. We rented a house, then moved into a bigger one. Things got suspicious when I found out about her friend, an older man who owned a car dealership. I was an idiot. I let her spend time with him because he was lonely. She also had a kid, and I tried to help, coming from a rough background myself. My family supported me but warned me. Things got worse. She started sleeping all day, spending more money, and seeing her friend more often. I worked long hours, picked up her kid from practice, because she forgot or slept in, and our bills piled up. Eventually, I found out she had a narcotic habit when I discovered empty bottles of oxycodone. The final straw was when she stole half of my ADHD medication, and when I had to sell my late friend's rifle to pay the bills. After that, I called my brother. He and his wife helped me leave while she was out. She tried to get me back, but I ghosted her. The last time I saw her, she was trying to seduce me, but I walked away. 6 months later, I met the love of my life, and now we're happily married. I've learned to respect myself, and I'll never forgive a cheater. Not everyone feels the same, but that's my story.